Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit that notification bell, daily updates. Really excited for today's beer. It's Tuesday, so what I'm trying to do on Tuesdays is challenge my palate, whether I do a mystery beer like I'm going to do today, courtesy of Matt. Thank you, Matt, for Massive Beer Reviews. Or just like a style I don't typically drink, something that's going to kind of get me out of my comfort zone, etc., etc. So this is the third mystery beer he sent the last time we sent each other beers. And like the first one I did, there's a little bit of orange showing at the top, which makes me think it's a carton beer. Full disclosure, because I did really well on the other one, because part of it was I think it might be the beer I'm thinking it is, and it was. The only beers I know from them is a prior one he had sent that had like basil. I keep forgetting if it was basil or oregano in it, so I've had that one. I was familiar with the other beer, Boat. That's what it ended up being. And then the only other one I know that they make is... Well, actually, maybe there's two more I know they make. I think they make a coffee stout, but doesn't actually have coffee in it. And they did a blue milk, like Star Wars blue milk one, and that one will be blue. So those are... I don't think I'm forgetting any. Those are only two left that I'm aware of, so should be pretty blind mystery, unless it's blue. Or a stout, then maybe I'll know it's that one. Let's see. Well, I don't think it's going to be a stout. I don't think it's going to be a stout or blue milk. All right, so that is, that's a very light brown color. Okay, so there's a little bit of red in it. First impressions, West Coast double IPA kind of a thing, perhaps. I mean, it's too light of as much as I keep thinking and saying brown, especially like up here, it's not, dark enough to be a brown ale or something like that. There is a decent amount of orange and some red in there. That's why I'm thinking maybe West Coast. It could be an oxidation thing. I don't know. But, the head has stuck around decently. At this point, a little less than a finger ahead. It's off-white, kind of... It's not khaki. It actually just looks like white with a little bit of brown mixed in. But, yeah, let's get to the aroma. I do get some hops. It's not bursting with aroma, so that's not giving me too much of a clue right now. Maybe it's just because it's the look, and now it's kind of tricking my brain into thinking it. I get some citrus and kind of West Coasty citrus. There's definitely a sweetness to the aroma. But yeah, it's not bursting. Yeah, it's not giving me a lot to go on. See about the taste. Cheers. Very prickly, a lot of pine, very resinous, piney in the finish. You haven't had a beer like this in a while. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's probably the best word to say. It's prickly. And yeah, this finish it's got to be a West Coast IPA. The finish is so... orange zest, pith, peel with this resin pine thing. I mean, it's pretty unfiltered. If you can hear that, there's a big speed bump outside and someone just hit that real hard. But even before the finish and the aftertaste, there is a lot of that. And I say this in New England style IPA reviews sometimes. The orange in that is different than the orange in West Coast. The orange is different. It's very much that, this is a hop that's making me think it drinks closest to orange juice with the pith, the zest, with that resin as well. I keep repeating those two things because mostly what I'm getting, there is some sweetness there. The reason I keep sipping and talking is I'm trying to think of the ABV of this guy or girl. I'm going to guess double around low 8.2 perhaps. 8.2. West Coast style double IPA from Carton. Let's see. Pull tabs. Oh, there you go. Except got a little stuck. You get a garbage can for in here. Whoa. 99%. Something bigger is off. Just curious what you think. Hop Pond Pale Ale 5.3. So I could not be further off from the ABV. Then Matt wrote a note. And with the condensation, it's a little hard to read. Let me try that again. 99% sure this something is off. Just curious what you'll say. All right, let me read this side. You can play boundary-pushing flavor games all you like, but you should never turn your back on fundamentals. Hop Pun is born of playing with most straightforward of beers, a hoppy American pale. We push around Matt commented last time, and I think I made a point to say this in the video. They might have the hardest to read text on background in the industry. Just the way the font, it's almost like shadowed, so it has like a little bit of a trim, which actually makes it harder, not easier. We push around as yet unnamed experimental hops with Super Galena and Mosaic. Soften the edges with traditional pale malt bill, and then tie it all together with the fruity esters of British yeast. Look for the tutti-fruity berry side of modern hop aromatics laying on a pleasant drinking pail. Drink Hop Pun and keep the chops sharp. Okay, so based on what the can said, based on what Matt wrote, based on what I tasted, I'll fully take the hit on the ABV. I am notoriously bad at guessing ABV. I recently had someone, it was a Hop Butcher beer, and they were calling it a double IPA, and it was 7.5%. And they were like, "Do you think of 7.5% beers as IPAs or double IPAs?" And I try to give a thoughtful response, but like I really don't think about that stuff, to be honest. Like I don't. As much as I like beer and like reading about it, learning about it, I also don't devote that much time to that kind of stuff either. It's just really I try to have as pure of a mindset as possible of just like, what am I tasting? Do I like it or not like it? And try to figure things out. Certainly, especially doing a mystery beer. But I am notoriously bad at ABV, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this kind of thing is to kind of get better at what tasting notes. I mean, if you taste alcohol, it's one thing, it's obvious. But what tasting notes might help you figure out, an ABV. All that being said, I fully take the hit on this. When I saw that it looked like a West Coast double IPA, you have that idea, and I should have just kept, letting my palate decide, because I talked about the dryness of the finish, how intense the West Coast hop citrus taste was, the resinous taste was. Those are bitter things. Maybe I should have gone lower. Part of it for me was, maybe part of the dryness is a higher alcohol. That's why I went with the 8-something, the low 8%, based, again, the look of it, the appearance of it. I don't know what berry that is. I mean, when I saw Mosaic, I don't know what Super Galleon is, and they're using experimental hops So who knows what those kick off. When I saw Mosaic, I feel like part of this aftertaste is alcohol. Like it has that kind of dryness to it. Not alcohol breath. It's not like I'm like, and it's obvious I've had alcohol, but there is like I don't know, the dryness I associate with a higher ABV thing. They have Mosaic in this. All right, one more time. I'm taking the hit on the ABV. I should have guessed lower. Clearly, I was 3% off, and based on my tasting notes, I shouldn't have talked myself into a higher ABV, even though there is some sweetness on the actual taste. Calling it pale ale, I totally get that in hindsight, but I'm getting pine. I'm getting that West Coast citrus. Hop, berryness, berryness from the hops. The hoppy American pale. We push around an unnamed experimental with Super Galleon Gelna, Galena, Gelna. Probably actually I pronounce it Gelna, like the name Gale Na. And Mosaic soften the edge of traditional pale malt. I don't know. It's weird. I don't feel good about it. But then reading his comments as well, I'll have to see if he reviewed this or what. I'm so curious right now because, yeah, this is weird. I will say this as I'm at the end of the review. If he has reviewed this and posted it, I'll definitely link to his review so you can also watch and kind of try to figure out what the heck between what the two of us have said. If not, it won't be there right now. Thanks for sending it. Make sure you check out Matt at Massive Beer Reviews. Make sure you check me out. Instagram on tap. No hype beer reviews about those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, hold in your burp till the end.